Good morning, squad. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing so good. I missed talking to you like this. It's been a while. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the exercises that literally took my glutes from this to this in about 2 to 3 years. And I know it sounds a little bit disappointing. It's not something that you want to hear, but it takes time. It takes years to build muscle. This is not some 2-week Chloe Ting situation. It takes time. You cannot build any substantial amount of muscle in 2-3 weeks. It takes time for muscles to grow, okay? So you have to be patient with yourself and you have to be consistent. However, it's a very rewarding journey because you learn so much along the way. And how I look at it is the time is gonna pass anyway. Whether you start today or if you start tomorrow, 2 years is gonna pass anyway, so why not just start? I feel like a lot of people focus on the time that it takes to get there and they get overwhelmed and then they get discouraged because they feel like, oh, it's gonna take too long. This is a journey. That's why they call it a fitness journey. So you guys already know my morning routine before I hit the gym. I do two scoops of my Prozis Big Shot pre-workout. This one is in flavor Lush Mango and Peach. And I'm trying this new clear creatine monohydrate in watermelon flavor. My discount code is SOFIT10 and I'm gonna leave the link for you to shop all of your supplements from Prozis in my description. Make sure you check them out because they actually have a lot of range and I love their supplement products, and I don't just say that about anyone because I'm extremely picky with supplements and flavors. I think Prozis has a really good range of products and flavors to choose from. So yeah, I'm gonna do 1 scoop of this, 2 scoops of this. I've been extremely consistent with my creatine and I've literally noticed my gains. I've noticed I've become a lot more stronger. I've been lifting a little bit heavier. I just feel a lot more athletic since I've been on my creatine. So highly recommend if your goal is to grow. Of course, also whey protein is also a really good source and a great way to get your protein in if you struggle with getting enough protein throughout your day. I do recommend getting whey protein and some creatine. So I'm gonna leave the links to the products that I use in my description along with my discount code. So I'm gonna do this and I will see you guys at the gym. Also, keep in mind that everybody should be training their glutes. It is not just for women. A lot of men do not train their glutes at all because they think it's a female thing. But you should be training your glutes the same way you would train your chest. It's very important to also improve the strength in your glutes because they are muscle as well. And it also improves your performance during other exercises like deadlifts, squats, and lunges, and etc. So 3 ways that I effectively train my glutes is 1 in a shortened position, 2 in a lengthened position, and then I will add a unilateral movement and then I'll throw in a key accessory movement from time to time. So I always start with my compound exercises first, and my first favorite glute exercise and what I feel has helped me grow my glutes the most is a hip thrust or a glute bridge or a glute drive. This trains your glutes in a shortened position. So here I am actually using a glute drive machine and the movement is very similar to that of a hip thrust. Usually I always do conventional hip thrust like with a barbell, and that is really the one that I recommend because I know a lot of people have said that they struggle with feeling their glutes when they are using a machine, and I just feel like barbell hip thrust just gives you the most glute activation in my opinion. But anyway, your form is also pretty simple and straightforward. If you're using a machine, you want to have constant tension in your glutes. And in order to achieve this, I would like to shorten my range of motion at the bottom and leave around a couple inches to half a foot between the floor and my glutes. This is the same thing that I do when I'm using a barbell as well. And also the second thing that I really want you to focus on when doing a hip thrust or glute bridge is the squeeze at the top of that movement. So really engaging your glutes at the top. I also find that I can load heavier weights when I'm doing a barbell hip thrust as well. And also I can go up to about 180, sometimes 200 kilograms. And I will do about an 8 to 15 rep range. And most times I would just go to failure. So this is the first exercise that I highly recommend that you have in your glute building program. Next, I will usually choose like 1 or 2 exercises that trains my glutes in a lengthened position. And one of those key movements for me is a dumbbell RDL. And you can, of course, perform this exercise with a barbell as well. And to make your RDLs more glute biased, you want to have more bend to your knees and keep your shins vertical so you can get more of a stretch in your glutes. And when I come up, I slightly tuck in my glutes. Sometimes I'll progress this exercise by standing on weight plates just to create a slight deficit, and this is going to increase my range of motion as well, which also means it's going to be putting a lot more emphasis in my glutes and just have them do more work. The next exercise are dumbbell step-ups, and you can use a bench or a box, and this is a unilateral movement, and I like to place my unilateral movements towards the end of my workout. And the reason why I said use a high bench or high box is because when you're doing the exercise, it's going to be very clear. When you have a high box or high bench, your glutes and hamstrings are automatically engaged, and then in order for you to get up on the box, you would have to use your glutes and your hamstrings to really drive yourself up. So there's going to be very minimal quads involved. The next exercise, I will categorize this exercise as an accessory. So it's just an additional to my main glute workout. So I will probably do this once a week, or if I just end up at a gym that has this machine, I will throw this in there as part of my glute workout. So it is a hip abductor, and the difference between a hip abductor and a hip adductor is that an abductor pushes your legs away from your body, and an adductor is when you're adding your legs towards your body. So you're moving your legs towards your body. So if you notice when you go to the gym, if you do have this machine, gyms have both of these machines usually next to each other. So it's important to know what each one of those exercises does. So it's also very important to hit each angle of your glutes if you're really trying to achieve that 3D glute effect. So those inner and outer areas, and make your inner thighs and outer thighs look wider. Here I like to have a slight lean forward, not too much, and the reason for leaning forward is just to have a little bit more glute activation. For my weight sets and reps here, I keep my weights here around mid-range, so I'll do between 15 to 30 kg. Not too heavy, because again, I like having better control of my weights, and this is not a compound movement, okay? So it's targeting a smaller muscle group, but this exercise is definitely going to leave you with that crazy glute pump, and you're gonna feel so good after this one. So make sure that you throw this in your glute day. And the last exercise that helped me build my glutes are cable kickbacks. This is another accessory movement, and here I will incorporate all different types of reps and variations with these, just depending. And so sometimes I would go heavier for like 10 reps, or I would just go lighter and do more reps for like 15 to 20. Then I would do pause reps, where I would pause for about 2 seconds at the top of the movement. And sometimes I'll turn my working leg out to the side just to hit a bit more outer glutes. So yeah, these exercises are going to build you the absolute perfect peach and strengthen your glutes as well in the process. So the key to growth is, of course, consistency and progression. So make sure that you're upping your weights as you get better over time. And that is it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. enjoyed all of my other workouts and you want a more structured program, check out my training app, the SoFit app. There's home and gym workouts, of course. On there I give you workouts using limited equipment like dumbbells as well as machines if you train at a well-equipped gym. If you would like to try out my app, it's $1 for your first month. However, if you just want to try out my ebook programs with nutrition plans included, you can check out my website. I will leave all the links in my description for you.